One of the biggest weekends for Arkansas football in over a decade will happen tomorrow. It's on the road in Athens, Georgia. Top 10 matchup, and we are excited to have Hunter Yurachek join us here this morning. Hunter, good morning. Thanks for some time. I couldn't help but chuckle a little bit watching the A&M game. I'm at home watching it on TV. I don't remember the play, but it was early in the game, and something happened. It was a little bit of a questionable call near the sideline, and there's this guy on the sideline kind of giving the business a little bit to the referee there, and I look close, and it's you. And you were kind of you're pretty passionate about these games, and I found that engaging and entertaining as a fan to see you so engaged in the game that early.
You may want to go back and look at that video. I'm not sure how we act on the sideline.
You're not quite sure. We've seen you on the sidelines before. How exciting is this to see all the work that's been put in by you and your staff, and really watching the success here early in the season through the first 4 games all come together?
It's been really exciting. I'm excited for our student athletes, especially those young men that have been with this program for multiple years, that went through the coaching change and went through some really down times and really hung in there, stuck with the plan and the process, and they're seeing the fruits of that labor right now. And I'm actually happy for Coach Pittman and his staff. Last year during COVID, they didn't have a true spring practice, didn't have true summer workouts. I had a somewhat abbreviated season, a challenging schedule, and they fought through that. And then, of course, for our fan base, they've been through roughly a decade of some down football years, and for our fan base to be able to experience it like they did at the Texas game a few weeks ago and then down in Dallas last week. And so it's just an exciting time to be a fan of Razorback football and be a part of that program in any way.
Number 8 in football this week. We know basketball went to the Elite 8 and was number 8. Baseball spent a great deal of the season at number 1. Women's golf, number 1. Track and field. We could go down the list, and it's been out there about all of the successes. Is there anything you can put your finger on, or is there a key ingredient? Maybe you don't want to give it away about getting that synergy and getting that rising tide to lift all boats. What's been the key to that rising tide lifting all the boats in Fayetteville?
First and foremost, we have great people in the head coaching roles of each of our 19 sports. First and foremost, and great people that recruit great young men and women that want to be a part of the Arkansas Razorback athletic program and their specific sports program. And then they support each other. Our student athletes support each other. And we talk about this one Razorback mantra that kind of was a play on the fact that there's only one Razorback mascot across all of college athletics. But it's been kind of a rallying cry for our department to come together to support each other and feed off of each other's success.
Hunter, it's Clay Henry. When you came to Arkansas, you spent 100 days, you said listening, observing. What did you see then that maybe is different now? And what actions did you take maybe to change any of the things that you saw?
Well, Clay, that's a great question. And I did that because I was not from the state of Arkansas. I roughly spent an hour in the state during my entire life prior to arriving, so I thought it was very important for me to listen. But what the main thing I've learned, and it hasn't changed at all, it's probably ramped up because of our success, is the passion that people across this state have for the Razorbacks. The fact that there's not another Power 5 program in this state, there's no major professional sports in this state. This state's, I don't want to say happiness per se, but the mood of this state rises and falls with our athletic program, especially our football, our basketball, and our baseball programs.
What would you tell, if you could talk to Frank Broyles right now about what's going on here?
Well, first of all, I would love to have that opportunity to have sat down with Coach Broyles and just learned more about the history and the fabric of our athletic program in this. And I think, Clay, from what I've heard in talking to his family and those that were close to him, like a Kevin Trainer, he'd be really proud of this athletic program. He'd be really proud, obviously, of what our football program has done, especially here over the last month, beating our old Southwest Conference rivals and Rice and Texas A&M and Texas. And I think he'd be really proud of what is going on right now in our athletic program.
I think he would be. I would add this: he would be proud of the athletic director. So that's not sure that he could say that about the last guy. so you don't have to say a thing, Hunter. But it's In one last question, Tommy, if you
got it, you can get all you want, Clay.
You observe the football team because you've got two sons in the program, one coaching, one playing. Have you seen anything change in the last couple of weeks in preparation, or are they just doing the same things that they've been doing?
They're following the lead of their head coach, and I say that Sam Pittman is Sam Pittman. He is a hardworking, blue-collar, down-to-earth, genuine man, and these kids they're hardworking. They play hard. They have the respect of their coaches. They respect their coaches in turn, and they respect each other. There's a great camaraderie that exists within that locker room and on that playing field where our student athletes on our football team, that they support each other. They're fans of each other. I don't see a lot of guys hanging their heads coming back to the locker room after a win like we've had in the past where maybe they haven't gotten the playing time they wanted. Everybody's just excited about winning and being a part of the winning program. And so I think it's just the overall culture of this program has really taken shape, and you can see that leading us over the past few weeks.
Hunter, Clay kind of led me into my next question. Yes, you're the athletics director, but you're also a dad, and you do have a son on the team and a son coaching on the team. And so when you observe and watch these games, you're wearing two hats. What was it like in the Texas game when the punt play happened and Jake got in there for the block? What's it like in those moments after the game when you're not just celebrating with your staff and those great behind-the-scenes moments that we've gotten to see and you share in with Coach Pittman, but take the athletic director hat off a minute, and what's it like as a dad to watch some of these things unfold and the success for your sons right now?
Yeah, it just makes it that much more special. Obviously, I just happened to be down in the south end zone getting ready for a presentation. Normally, I'd be watching from the north end zone, and so I wouldn't have been right there when that punt block happened. And I saw the block happen. I didn't know until Jake got up and I saw his jersey number that it was actually him that had gotten the block, and so I was really excited when the block happened. When I saw it was him, I was really, really excited. And then just to be able to share in that moment with each of them, it's really special, and it's fleeting. Ryan's a GA. He'll most likely move on after this season. Jake is going to graduate in December. He'll have a decision to make if he'll continue his football career. So I'm just trying to soak all this in. First and foremost, the success of our football program as a whole, and second, get to enjoy it with two of my sons.
What does it say about the program that so many players that had the option to move on and do other things with their lives, get married, move on to careers that they've already gotten degrees to start their careers in a professional setting, put all of those things maybe on hold to come back and play football for one more year at Arkansas? That's a key ingredient to the success this year. What does that tell you about your program and what's going on here when so many chose that extra season?
I think those guys like a Grant Morgan, Hayden Hendry, those leaders on the field, they were really tuned in last year about the culture that Sam Pittman was building and the special opportunity they saw ahead this season. I don't know if they saw us being 4-0 ranked in the top 10, but I think they really saw that as Arkansans, and both of those young men are, that they could help really turn this program around and set the course for a new direction for Razorback football. And so I think those guys, we wouldn't be where we were without those two men coming back, not only what they do on the field, but also what they do in the locker room with their leadership.
Yeah. I want to add, we saw some behind-the-scenes moments. We're going to come back to that in just a minute with football, but I want to put football on pause for just a moment because even in the midst of this week, and I know we can't talk recruiting with you, but there's huge basketball news this week. I know one of the things that you can talk about is the plans for renovations at Bud Walton. There's so much excitement with football, but I know we're just over 40 days away from basketball season. Season ticket sales, you've been promoting that, and the fact that we're down to just a few hundred. The excitement for basketball season is coming up. You got renovations planned for Bud Walton Arena. You're anticipating a great basketball season ahead. What can fans expect this year and in the future when renovations are underway and complete with Bud Walton Arena?
Well, first and foremost for basketball season, obviously we've got two really solid programs, both our men's program under the leadership of Eric Musselman and our women's program under the leadership of Mike Neighbors. And I think you can expect both of those teams to, excel, have great seasons, be in the top 25, if not better, for the majority of the season. And I've watched both of them practice, and I'm really excited about seeing both of those programs take the court. As far as Bud Walton Arena goes, we completed a survey of our fans, Razorback Foundation members here in the past 6 to 8 weeks. We're finishing up some focus groups, and then there's going to be some data that we'll take before the board, most likely at their November meeting, and ask for their blessing to move forward with advertising for an architect and a contractor to start the process for major renovation to Bud Walton Arena. That process is a 3 to 4 year process from design to construction and trying to figure out how to maneuver the renovation around basketball seasons. And so, I mean, we hope that by the time we tip off for the 24-25 season, latest 25-26, that there's a major renovation that's been completed to that facility.
Hunter, you may have a national championship by then.
That would be awesome, Clay. That would be awesome.
No, I mean, if you look...
That's the goal. We're not scared to talk about that for all of our sports programs we talk about on a regular basis. We want our 19 sports programs to all compete for SEC championships, and we truly believe if you're competing for SEC championships, then you're competing for national championships because the SEC is the best conference in the country.
Yeah, I have said that. When football was down, you just have to get the right coach, and it goes with all sports, right? When you look at every sport, you got the right guy, you can win a national championship. So I want to commend you for you probably this would surprise you. I'm not on social media, so
I am shocked. You can't get that on the river while you're fly fishing, Clay.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't work, and I'm sorry. I mean, it seems you'd spend too much time with trivial stuff. But saying that, there are plenty of people around me that send me the clever stuff that your social media team does, and it just seems to get better and better. Hey, I may have to get on social media. It's just too sweet. So, but some of it's really edgy, Hunter. I mean, do you like that?
Well, I'm only on one social media outlet, and that's Twitter. That's the most I can handle. But I will say that we have a talented team of on our external side. That you're exactly right. Their minds are always generating incredible ideas. We've got the people behind the scenes that can take those ideas and really bring them to fruition and put them on our social media accounts. And all of our social media accounts are just off the charts from in an impression standpoint. I think
I'm not surprised.
Somewhere after the Texas game that we had 27 million impressions on our various football social media accounts that weekend. 27 million.
Yeah. So one of those moments from that weekend was a behind the scenes moment where the closing moments, victory was in hand, and looked like a state trooper, law enforcement officer comes to you about, hey, what are we going to do with the crowd? The goalpost may come down. They're going to flood the field. And you said, let them come. We'll pay the fine. And those are some of the behind-the-scenes moments fans can now enjoy.
Absolutely. You know, back early part of the spring, Bo Mattingly and the team at Sport and Story approached us with this opportunity to launch a content network called Hogs Plus. And we just struck lightning in a bottle launching that during the week of the Texas game. It launched with over 130 hours of content, both archived games, kind of behind-the-scenes stories. And we have such a passionate fan base across this state, many who can never make it to Fayetteville to come to a game, engage with their coaches, engage with their student-athletes. And this gives fans across the state the opportunity to do that. And you know, our data is proving true. There's been, I think, 70 to 80% of our subscribers so far are not in our Ticket or Razorback Foundation database, and that tells us that, you know, the research we did was true, that people that can't come and engage want this type of access to our programs. And I'll give a little plug for that today. There's a free, for if you're teetering on the edge of whether you want to be a subscriber to Hogs Plus, there's a bonus episode that's free today if you want to get on hogsplus.com, featuring Trey Williams and a behind-the-scenes interview with him. Getting to know him a little bit better, and plus he tells the story of why the Southwest classic trophy sitting in the middle of the lobby of the Smith Center right now.
So I've been thinking about doing some behind-the-scenes stuff and really recording and letting the audience in firsthand on some of these conversations and arguments between Clay and Ty during the breaks. Do you think that would that bring in was that a business plan I could get behind here, Hunter?
That would be, Tommy, that would be the type of thing I would subscribe to. I'd love to. Maybe
I got something there I can get some traction with.
Hey, it's
absolutely.
Yeah. It's R-rated. We can't do it.
Well, that's even more intriguing, Clay. And
it's R-rated from one side.
I think the hole in the business plan is Clay's not on social media. I don't know how we could really get it pushed over the top unless we got Clay a Twitter account.
That may be a slight issue for you, Tommy.
Yeah, well, I'm worried he'd get Twitter and Tinder mixed up, and he'd have the wrong account, and he'd have a whole lot of other troubles. So, Hunter, we've enjoyed the conversation this morning. Congratulations on all the success, and we look forward to future chats with you.
All right, Tommy Clay, you guys have a great weekend, and go Hogs. We got
see you in Athens.
Several teams competing against Georgia this weekend: volleyball, women's soccer, and football, of course. So big Georgia weekend for the Hogs.
And if you see Ty in Athens hitchhiking somewhere, just keep driving. Don't even worry about it. All right. Hunter Yurachek joining us this morning.
Back and better than ever. All eyes are on the gridiron as teams are back for another football season. As always, BetOnline is your #1 spot for all the pro and college football action this season. With the new updated site and interface, even more odds, props, and contests, BetOnline continues to be the #1 source for everything football. Head to your website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Don't forget to use our promo code BELIEVE to receive your bonus. That's BLEAV. From football, basketball, boxing, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of these amazing offers for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts.